guys. I totally forgot to record the gameplay up until now. I know I'm probably a dick, but it seriously was on accident. That I swear. But yeah. So now we're trying to find the divine source, which is some kind of object or something that will allow the person who holds it to actually be more powerful. Those guys that are marked around, those are the guardians of the divine source and the way. Yeah, this is the tool needed to find it. Needed to find it. Which we followed. We followed it. Right after they shot at the death of shot everything. Trinity also tried taking it by force, and every single one of them got murdered. But yeah, sorry I was so late. So far, we've unlocked silent arrows, which are the default ammo for arrows. Unlocked hollow point rounds. We've unlocked dragonfire arrows. We've unlocked poison arrows, fire arrows, grenade arrows. You've got these. We unlock the rebreather, broadhead arrowheads, which allows us to climb into softwood. A rebreather, which allows us to breathe underwater. Allows unlimited underwater swimming and nullifies the effects of poisonous orange wounds. An ornately Byzantine dagger, used for cutting rope and attacking foes. Calibrated rope, making rope lines to swing across large gaps. Enhancement tool, crafting tool, yada yada yada. Yeah, hold on. So we have the Harbinger, which looks like this. This is the default weapon. We have the Golden Fang, which is a golden, what was it? Is a golden bolt action rifle that does the most damage. The Venom hand cannon. There's the Moon Shadow, which is the next best pistol. Then there's the Accipiter Nox, the Hailstorm, which is a machine gun, semi-auto pistol, and then the revolver, which is default. Then there's Dragon's Breath, which is the bow I'm currently using, most damage. There's the White Widow, Gilding Light, Ancient Horn Bow, Byzantine bow that has a high rate of fire and a long draw speed, Compound bow, and then the recurve bow, which is the default. And now I'm going with the most powerful weapons because of the enemies we're facing. Yeah, this is the ordinary revolver. Here's the semi-auto pistol. Here's the Moon Shadow, next best gun. Accipiter Nox, and then the Hailstorm. You got the pump action shotgun, which is the default weapon, but it's the best weapon in my opinion. We haven't unlocked another axe yet, but it looks like there's only 4. and because of the 20th year anniversary or 200th year anniversary, whichever one, I got 20 gift packs along with more. Yeah, I'll show you the outfit. Reimagine an Arctic, Valiant Explorer, not explosive. Ooh. Ray Henley, Remnant, which you received from Jacob, who is an ally that you'll get later in the game, that you get early in the game after you free him from a prison. Okay? Battle Worn, Spirit Weaver, Pioneer. I do not like the Pioneer. Here's the thing you start out with, is the Expedition Jacket. Then I think you get the Gray Henley. Then you get let's see, where is it? And then you get, I don't think you get this one. Oh, and then you get this one. But yeah, leather jacket. Here's the Siberian Ranger. Depending upon the situation, if I have to use the shotgun, the rifle, or the pistol, then I'll use the Shadowrunner. Here's the Ancient Vanguard. The Sparrowhawk, which is good for hunting in the beginning of the game, because you'll have to use it to craft stuff that you'll need for weapons. Apex Predator. If you're hunting predatory animals, then you may want to use this. The Nightshade. When you skin a common animal, or when you loot a common animal and you're wearing this, you get a chance to get an exotic animal. Like there's the panther, there's a jaguar, and then there's the white jaguar. This one I am currently using because the Deathless, that those guys are called, use Greek fire, which is a special fire that will burn even on water, even with water poured on it or whatever, or that will burn on water. And then Ghost Bastion. I mainly use the bow, which is why I had this on. Or did I have more guns? Ooh. Anyway. Right now I'm sticking with this loadout because I'm focused more on damage. I'm focused more on damage than on reload speed or whatever. But yeah, see. There's cloth, there's herbs, which are like plants, hide, which you get from animals, wolf, deer carcasses, deer, rabbits. Salvage, you find that near buildings. Mushrooms, you'll find those in caves. Hardwood, you get those from I can't remember what they're called. Plantlings, springlings, whatever the term is for young for baby trees. There's oil, which you will need later to craft fire arrows. There's magnesite ore, which is pretty common. You'll have to defeat a bear, which is where you'll get bear hide. Technical parts, you find those from like gadgets or whatever. Yeah. You'll unlock silent arrows, which just need 1 wood or 1 feather, which you can get from killing birds or by looting nests. And then 2 hardwood. Poison arrows you'll get later when you have to kill the bear. Requires 2 arrows, 1 hardwood, and 3 mushrooms. There's fire arrows, which I can't remember when you get it. Oh yeah, when you have to light the when you're with the natives and you have to light one of the bonfires for the towers to alert the rest of the natives. So, grenade arrows, you get those later. Hollow point rounds, you have to buy the upgrade for both of these two. And yeah, see, Hunter's Quiver, let's see, pistol ammo pouch, blah blah blah. All of these you'll find all of these. The last 6 upgrades: the crafting tool, enhancement tool, the rope, the combat knife, the rebreather, and the broadhead arrowheads, you'll all find later. Yeah, I unlocked a bunch of skills, craft large capacity ammo and research base camps, blah blah blah. To jam climbable broad arrowheads into softwood surfaces, basically when you jump near like rotting wood or something. Survival instinct show relics, blah blah blah. Sterry bombs, craft component bombs, blah blah blah. Oh yeah. See, craft high damage pistol bullets, craft incendiary shotgun shells. I can't remember what skills you find in these books. Then you open in catacombs. What was it? Yeah, ancient abilities, survivalist. I'm not sure about survivalist. Oh, yeah, classically trained. Brawler there was. Oh, I don't think there was any. And then survivor there was. Bright eyes, sense traps when nearby, automatically triggering a survival instincts glow. And reveal where nearby natural crafting resources are located, both on the map and while using survival instinct. Yeah, so we have, right now our objective is to cross the walls into the inner city, where we have to get into the inner city and find the divine source before Trinity does, who are bad guys who want to use the divine source to be immortal and pretty much kill everyone who doesn't join them. They say it's for a holy cause and they say it's for a divine cause that God wants it. And you'll find out more soon enough later on. Yeah, see that? Get away from me. I know you don't. I know you don't. Get away. Get away. They are called the Deathless because they supposedly are never able to die. Yeah, the order is that you unlock the bow, then you get the pistol, then you get the rifle, then you get the gun. The King Crest, I forgot the King Crest weapon ammo. The arrows are usually enough to make, they're the most basic thing to find. And when you unlock the pistol and rifle, all you have to do is get those the best ones are said to be those will be those let's see.
We heard of the Prophet's arrival in Constantinople,
Prophet's
but
arrival
we
in
paid it no
Constantinople.
mind.
Prophet
The
is
great
this
city
guy
has
who
always drawn
supposedly
madmen and
is able,
pretenders to the ear
who
of
was
God.
supposedly
We heard
knew
strange
everything,
tales of
but claimed
miracles
to
of the
not,
Prophet, but still we did not
not
seek him out.
speak for God.
But then we heard him speak, heard the liquid truth.
This should be more than enough oil to light the passages below, but be careful transporting it. We have not perfected the refining process.
Let's see.
Fires still rage in the outer
Supposedly,
districts.
the
last of the wooden buildings
Prophet
will be consumed by
was
nightfall.
killed by being stabbed in the
heart of
heart
our city is
by
gone,
an ancient
buried beneath the ice.
Roman or
I can
Greek
take some
warrior,
small
I'm not
solace
sure.
in the fact that the Mongol invaders were killed,
And
alongside
then,
the Prophet's warriors who died to save us. And the Prophet himself? No.
My son, the Order of Trinity has received word that the Prophet's followers are building a great tomb at an oasis outside Berea. But more upsetting, what?
And
My lord, what
what
you say is
impossible.
impossible.
I myself drove a spear into the Prophet's
I
heart.
myself
saw him
drove
die.
a spear into the
Doubtless
Prophet's
people have
heart.
propped another man up in
I
the
saw
slain
him
Prophet's robe
die.
to continue his lies. They are broken, shredded,
Doubtless
and
his
fell
people
below
have
us
propped
up and
another
touched the
man
rest
up in the
of the
slain
sword. But the
Prophet's
Prophet
robe
is-
to continue his
Prophet
lies.
is dead. This I swear.
They are... My lord, I
I
ride at the
as
head of a small army of the faithful, armed
man. I have good
ready.
news. We have located the
And I
tomb
have
of
good
Prophet.
news.
We are attacked by madmen.
We have located the
on road
tomb
going
of
to
the
Prophet's
Prophet.
library, but they were easily
We were
bested.
attacked by
We allowed one to
madmen
flee and
upon the
followed him
road
back to the
wearing the
oasis,
Prophet's
where the Prophet
livery,
escaped death, or
but they were
either,
easily
or
bested.
whether another one
We allowed one
now
to
wears
flee
his mantle. It
and
does
followed
not
him
matter.
back to the
All will
oasis.
perish inside.
Whether
And
the
will become
Prophet
a torment
escaped
last.
death...
So apparently there was an oasis in Syria, in the middle of the desert, which was where the Prophet hid until until the night. That's all it says, is the night came, and his men found the oasis, but by then the Prophet and his people fled, coming to Russia, somewhere in Russia, I can't remember the name exactly, where the Prophet and his people built an ancient city known as Kitezh. And he built an immortal army, who is now known as the Deathless. And he had his army to guard the city and to guard the Atlas. The Prophet hid the Atlas with the Deathless, and then hid the divine source in the center of Kitezh, which is in Russia, not in real life, in the game, which is in dang it, I forgot what I was saying. Divine source, which is in Kitezh, which is in the center of Kitezh, the ancient city, which is underneath a huge glacier. There's Remnant 9. Later, Soviets built a mine to get to what was it? To mine magnetite ore? Either way. And hold on. Postal, the Zapper, Fox Trail,
We can no longer wait for our brothers outside the mines to begin their resistance. The Soviets have found something they desire more than the poison ore.
Justice. We thought at first the old Guardians would emerge and punish our commanders, but now
desecrated their tombs.
we will have to be the instrument of God's
This is the last injustice.
To gather our strength, store pigs and
We thought at first the old Guardians would emerge and punish our tormentors. But now I see we will have to be the instrument of God's retribution. We gather our strength.
I'm pretty sure they were talking about the Deathless.
When the uranium ore was nearly gone, I feared our operation was at an end. But even as we moved to close the shaft, fate intervened. We found a chamber, half destroyed by a cave-in, but clearly made by the hands of man. The artifacts inside are ancient, nearly 1,000 years old, untouched since the tomb was sealed. We redouble our efforts. Instead of mining, the workers now search and retrieve the artifacts inside. The natives of the valley, their resistance once broken, now...
For a year I have ridden with an army of Mongols.
And yeah.
The Red Army is coming. I've been tracking them for weeks, watching as hundreds of men build the iron monstrosity across the ice. Men have died, their frozen bodies left scattered in the tundra.
Are they drawn
no
here
rites
by
of
the
passing.
divine source?
I've infiltrated the ranks of the enemy and learned that they come seeking the rich resources of the mountain. They appear to know nothing of the secret we protect. Those who build the iron road.
And then...
We were fools. Careless, arrogant fools. We thought we could stop them, but the Red Army outnumbers us. Their weapons...
Comrades, this report comes to you following an unprecedented discovery in the mountains of Freedom Station.
Artifacts.
Our deep mine... At your earliest convenience, please acknowledge these communiques. We have received no directive since the discovery of the ruins.
The legendary city of
Examination of the artifacts and scrolls recovered from the site continue. As impossible as it may seem, it appears we may have discovered the ruins of the legendary city of Kitesh.
Sometime in the 10th century.
There are also numerous references to some kind of messianic figure. If I'm interpreting the... We now have heavy equipment in place within the main cavern. We intend to gain access to some kind of temple, even if we have to rip down its ancient doors to do so. While hundreds of artifacts have now been...
I'm pretty sure this...
We now have heavy equipment in place within the main cavern. We intend to gain access to some kind of temple, even if we have to rip down its ancient doors to do so. While hundreds of artifacts have now been recovered and catalogued, 2 guard crews have gone missing in the mines. I have personally questioned the native prisoners. They claim to have... Comrades, it is imperative that you respond to my communiques. We are now in dire need of supplies and reinforcements. A full revolt is in progress, and the prisoners now control the excavation site and surrounding facilities. In retribution, I have ordered mass executions of prisoners from the native population. With any luck, these rebels will lay down their arms and surrender to save their own countrymen.
That they hope that they would surrender.
It is clear to me now that our communications have been sabotaged.
Tried to sway them.
You likely have received none of my cables for quite some time. But I will continue transmitting as it is my duty.
All the local natives came at them.
Local natives attacked us on multiple fronts soon after we attempted to sway them with the executions of their countrymen.
Preparing this revolt carefully.
There are far more natives than we ever anticipated.
I have learned all I can from the carnage inside the Prophet's tomb.
My brothers were slain sometime within the last few days. The false Prophet's followers died here by the hundreds.
The false Prophet's followers died here by the hundreds, but in the end, they were victorious. I have sealed the tomb as best I can. The Prophet and his followers have been traveling under cover of night,
a crooked trail around
the border of the Eastern Empire.
They do not know where they are headed.
They
do not know either.
And I suspect they do not either.
But they know we will not let them rest until this heresy is purged. Blah, blah, blah.
The common folk of the borderlands give him shelter, and
Gunfolk of the Borderlands give him shelter. Find it curious that none who have aided him will tell me anything of use.
Even when I threaten them with the wrath of Trinity, or touch the edge of a knife to their throats, they stay silent.
They die never betraying what they know. The Prophet has a curious way over people.
Never betraying
all
what they know.
the more reason he must be silenced.
The fugitive Prophet has crossed out of the Empire and now turns north. I'm now in unfamiliar territory. The Order of Trinity was clear. I am to pursue the false prophet and his adherents to the ends of the earth and wash away
every
his
language
heresy.
Fluently. So this guy, he has to communicate with his sword.
He crosses. He's passed through the lands of the Rus. I cannot shake the feeling that he's taunting me, waiting until I'm a day's ride away before moving on.
Stopped at the land of Rus by a lake.
I will not be home before the winter as I hoped. I've stopped at a small village by a glassy lake they called Svetloyar. The Prophet spoke here, and now the villagers refuse me lodging.
Because the Prophet spoke
I slept on the banks of the lake, where a young man, bearing a crude version prophet's icon, tried to kill me as I dozed. I made an example of him, and now the people fix me with the evil eye, spit at me as I pass. I must move on soon.
Tried to kill him in his sleep.
His sickness spreads.
I killed him and made an example of him. And the village stared at him with an evil eye, spit on him as he passed. He had to move on soon, otherwise the young man's sickness of hate and rage would spread. Sorry if that was long. What? For what?
For that.
Sorry guys, I have to go. My asshole brother is pissing me off.
Don't like strippers.
Do not listen to him, because he is autistic.
And so is he.
Fine, I will beat the living out of you.
Just prove it more.
Okay, everyone ignore him. He is autistic, stupid, and a weirdo.
And John's also autistic. This guy, your YouTuber friend here.
Yeah, he is just trying to piss me off so then I'll hurt him so then he can try and call the police on me and have me...
Shut up! Just stop broadcasting!
...thrown in juvie.
Good, you deserve it. Now stop broadcasting, you pussy.
Told you, he's a